There's no doubt that the Justice League is the ultimate superhero assemblage. No offense, Avengers, X-Men, but anyway, they're definitely getting floored by the Justice League. They are a team filled with some of the most powerful heroes in the comics universe. But what if there's one villain, one single Marvel villain, that could not only face off against but also defeat any version of the Justice League? And no, it isn't Thanos. We're talking about Dr. Victor Von Doom, master of science and magic. Absolutely unwavering in his desire and dreadful in his demeanor, Dr. Doom is everything a supervillain should be. And yeah, he can take on the Justice League. Finding this hard to believe? Allow us to prove it to you. Besides being the Fantastic Four's arch nemesis, what else do we know about Dr. Doom? Prepare to have your mind blown. Born to gypsies Cynthia and Werner Von Doom in the small European nation of Latveria, Victor lost his mom in a deal that went wrong with the King of Hell, Mephisto. Despite his father's best efforts to care for Cynthia, she died, forcing Werner to flee with young Victor on one cold winter night. Well, Victor survived this harsh cold night, but unfortunately the same can't be said for Werner, who died. Victor sought to broaden his knowledge in magic and science to rescue his mother from the clutches of Mephisto. Later on, Victor was offered a scholarship by the State University in Hegeman, New York. He meets Reed Richards and Ben Grimm there for the first time, and it didn't take long for both men to absolutely despise each other. Well, they were both intellectual peers, with people comparing their brilliance to that of Albert Einstein and Leonardo da Vinci. But boy, they just couldn't stand each other, always arguing about everything. Doom eventually became obsessed with building a machine that could project the astral form of a person into other dimensions, acknowledging this as a way to free his mother's soul from hell. Reed, however, pointed out one major flaw in Victor's calculations. But if there's one thing we know about Doom, it's just how egotistical he is, so he arrogantly ignored Reed's warnings. The machine eventually exploded, scarring his face forever. Victor Von Doom was soon expelled for his unethical experiment. From then on, he blamed Reed for his scarred face and expulsion. Bitter and disgraced, Doom traveled the world until he came upon a Tibetan village of monks who helped him create a suit of armor. You know, the metal suit that covers his entire body and face. Victor returned to Latveria, his homeland, overthrew the leader there, and declared himself king, renaming the country's capital Doomstadt. How does Marvel even come up with these names? Well, using his country's resources, he further advanced in science through weaponry, robotics, and even time travel. Determined in his leadership and with formidable forces at his command, Dr. Doom set out to prove himself superior to the only man equal to his own scientific genius, save his mother's soul, and most importantly, conquer the globe. Right now, you're probably wondering, okay, cool origin story, but what makes this guy so much of a threat to the Justice League? Well, we're getting there. Now, let's talk about powers and the evolution of said powers. But before we do that, fill up that comment section, blast that subscribe and like button, and get ready to see Doom's abilities. For starters, Doom's genius-level intellect is his most important ability. He's a polymath, scientist, and inventor. Dr. Doom invented many Doomsday machines and robots during his successful supervillain reign, among them being his Doombots. Dr. Doom also has a level of technopathic control over certain devices, most notably the Doombots he created. But he's a technopathic, okay? Throughout most of his publication history, Marvel has always told us just how genius Victor Von Doom is. In fact, at some point, he was able to restore Ben Grimm, aka the Thing's human form, a feat that even Reed Richards, the most brilliant man alive, had been unable to perfect. That's just how intelligent Doom is. But here's what truly makes Dr. Doom the supervillain he is. Along with being a genius inventor and scientist, Dr. Doom is also one mighty sorcerer, one of the most powerful in the Marvel Universe. He was primarily taught sorcery during his time with the Tibetan monks, but when he met Morgan Le Fay, his powers reached a considerable extent. Because of this, Dr. Doom is capable of... Hey, before we go any further, brace yourself, because this will take a while. Okay, Dr. Doom is capable of manipulating electricity, energy absorption and projection, creating protective shields, dimensional travel, creating blizzards, healing, teleportation, mystic ensnaring, power nullification, telekinesis, and summoning hordes of demonic creatures. Doom is so powerful as a sorcerer that he somehow managed to come in second in a magic tournament held by aged Genghis. Even Doctor Strange, Sorcerer Supreme, revealed that Doom wielded enough magical power and knowledge to become Sorcerer Supreme himself. Dr. Doom can also psionically transfer his consciousness into another nearby human being through mere eye contact, an ability he picked up from the alien ovoids. He pretty much uses his ability to get himself out of tight spots. However, he rarely uses this ability due to his own enormous ego. Anyhow, Doom isn't a villain that relies on brute strength to get things done, even though his armor augments his natural durability and physical strength to superhuman levels. His armor works so remarkably well that he's been able to hold his own against, and sometimes overpower, superhuman opponents like the Hulk, the Thing, and Spider-Man. But majorly, he relies on long-range tactics against physically stronger opponents. His armor is also indestructible, capable of taking hits from superhumans to cosmic entities, and protects Dr. Doom from reality-warping psychic effects and matter manipulation. He's a very skilled hand-to-hand combatant. All these powers would be nothing if Dr. Doom hadn't used them to accomplish the impossible, right? So what are his most incredible feats? Whether it's because of heroic plot armor or just the hard luck that comes with being a villain, bad guys don't get a lot of wins in comic books. Dr. Doom, however, is the exception to this. They might not last very long, but they're impressive and quite numerous. So how about we run down some of these unbelievable highs, shall we? Unlike many supervillains throughout comic book history, Dr. Doom has actually gotten what he desires the most: world domination. In the 1987 Avengers Emperor Doom storyline, Dr. Doom won and took over the world by using Purple Man's hypnotic ability. Dr. Doom enslaved the entire Avengers and enlisted Namor to deal with whoever was immune to Purple Man's power. During his reign as Emperor Doom, he brought about world peace, eliminated crime, and even ended apartheid in South Africa. How many villains can manage world domination on this scale? And there's more where that came from. During this same Emperor Doom storyline, Victor did what no other character within Marvel's universe had accomplished. Dr. Doom was able to resist the hypnotic ability of Purple Man. As the Purple Man commanded that Doom become his slave and end his life, Doom stood firm, and he did this without any tech, armor, or even magic. Through nothing but sheer force of will, Doom resisted Purple Man. While Dr. Doom is pretty much mortal, he has proven himself time and again against cosmic beings, and even gone on to steal their powers for himself. In the classic Fantastic Four issue 57 back in 1966, when Silver Surfer was still pretty new to Earth, Dr. Doom was able to distract him long enough to extract the power cosmic from the shiny visitor, giving him so much power and energy that he dubbed himself Master of All Mankind. He even flew around on Silver Surfer's board. In 2015's Secret Wars, the world was introduced to the most powerful version of Dr. Doom. In this incredible story, Doom in fact saves the multiverse from the Beyonders, a nigh-omnipotent race that dwells outside the multiverse. When this all-powerful race comes to destroy the Earth, the superheroes are literally powerless against them, leaving Dr. Doom with a mission to save the multiverse. Well, he was quite successful in doing so, but the catch here was that he absorbed the power of the Beyonders. After absorbing their powers, he was so powerful that he literally killed the Mad Titan Thanos with a single strike, pulling his spine and skull from his body. Besides defeating a wielder of the Infinity Gauntlet, he was also able to hold together an entire planet made out of remnants of destroyed realities by thought alone. He could control time and space, rearrange reality as he pleased, resurrect the dead, teleport, and even overpower a host of the Phoenix Force. Now, is that powerful enough for you? Well, with all the new information you now have, how do you think Dr. Doom will fare against the Justice League? Surely, a man capable of defeating a race of cosmic beings can take on the Justice League, right? Dr. Victor Von Doom isn't your average supervillain who relies on powers to get things done. He's a thinker, a genius, a man that faces every situation with a larger-than-life plan. We're talking about a man that's been able to outsmart Reed Richards more times than once. Surely, you see the possibilities too. You know what? Let's do what we do best. Paint you a grand picture. Seduce your imagination. Dr. Doom makes his way into the DC universe, and the Justice League feels obligated to stop him from achieving world domination, as they would. Imagine this: Dr. Doom and an army of Doombots versus a Justice League team comprising of Superman, Batman, Wonder Woman, The Flash, Green Lantern, and Aquaman. Just to get him warmed up. While the army of Doombots occupies the Justice League's weaker members, even out the numbers game, Dr. Doom can start picking off members individually. There are many ways Dr. Doom could play this. For starters, he could psionically transfer his consciousness into a member of the Justice League and have whoever that is do all the heavy lifting. Judging from whoever's doing the best job at fending off his Doombots, he could easily make a choice. He'll likely try taking over Superman's body first, but we're talking about a genius here. No one really knows how Dr. Doom thinks. Who knows what superhero he could go for first? Transferring his consciousness into Superman might not work, given that he's, Superman. So, he will go with option 2 instead, Emperor Doom. Just like he did with the Avengers in Marvel's universe, he could just hypnotize everyone, easy peasy. We all know Superman doesn't do well with hypnosis. So, with Superman as Dr. Doom's right-hand man, who's going to stop him? Yeah, some superheroes are immune to Purple Man's power, but Dr. Doom is just going to use the ones he can control to take out the ones he can't. Let's say he isn't able to control Superman. You think that Clark has it in him to attack his fellow League members? We all know that's a no. Let's say Operation Hypnosis for some reason doesn't come to fruition. Dr. Doom still has a lot of plays here. With his Doombots distracting the Justice League, Doom could devise a means of extracting Superman's powers for himself, just like he did with the Beyonders or with Silver Surfer. Believe that if he can do it to them, Superman can have his powers absorbed as well. And just like that, we're looking at one even more powerful being that no one in the Justice League can stop. Combining the strength and durability of Superman with Dr. Doom's magic and intelligence, two aspects that our Kryptonian friend just doesn't excel in, the Justice League just goes 0 for 2 in their attempts. Well, besides Superman, the rest of the Justice League will barely stand a chance against Dr. Doom in a one-on-one versus situation. Let's say Dr. Doom somehow finds himself in a 1v1 situation with Aquaman. Okay, no offense Aquaman fans, but your King of Atlantis is getting absolutely mauled here. It's either he's getting outsmarted or just straight up beaten. For starters, there isn't much Aquaman can do to hurt Victor Von Doom. A destructible suit of armor, remember? Yeah, sure, if he comes to the party with Atlan's trident, he might actually stand a chance, but he's still gonna get beat up. Aquaman is the kind of superhero that believes in getting things done with his fist, and that kind of thinking isn't gonna do him any good against a thinker like Dr. Doom. Aquaman down, who's next? How about the Flash? The Flash is gonna be a tougher opponent, but just like Aquaman, the Flash's strikes will do next to nothing to Doom unless he can somehow gather up enough energy to actually put a hole through that suit of armor. You know, run fast enough to gather up just enough lightning to impale his opponent. Yeah, sounds like a plan that could work, only that it won't. 2 words, energy absorption. All Doom's got to do is absorb all that energy and lightning and send it back into Barry. Yeah, he's definitely not going to be running then, and Victor Von Doom can just finish it all up. How about we pit Dr. Doom against a literal goddess, like Wonder Woman? Yeah, we all know Wonder Woman is no stranger to magic. She herself is a magical being. So Dr. Doom's sorcery might not do much to harm our Princess of Themyscira. But here's what's going to work just fine. Science. Dr. Doom is also a master of science. We're talking genius-level intellect, so all he needs to do is keep her occupied long enough to devise some weapon that could really do her lots of damage. Dr. Doom can literally summon hordes of demons. Those can keep Wonder Woman occupied, while Doom works on some weapon that would allow him to take her cosmic powers for himself. And just like that, Dr. Doom has taken the wonder away from the woman. Cyborg is another Justice League member with a lot of potential, but the big question here is, does he have enough potential to take Victor Von Doom on all on his own? The answer here, again, is a no. Cyborg is literally half man, half machine, which makes him pretty capable and effective against a lot of villains, but that will not be the case against a villain like Dr. Doom, who is a master of tech and science. Just like he did with the Thing, transforming him right back into a human, he could do the exact same thing to Cyborg. With enough prep time, he could devise a means to separate whatever is left of his human parts from his robot parts. He might not even need to design some elaborate weapon to do this, because after all, he's a sorcerer, remember? He could just perform a spell that could sever all connections Victor Stone has with his cyborg parts, instantly killing him. Cyborg also has a genius-level intellect, so that could come in handy for him. But, you know, where science fails for Dr. Doom, magic very much succeeds. The only Justice League member that could probably devise a means or plan to stop this version of Dr. Doom is Batman. Why Batman, you ask? Well, because Batman is the most strategic superhero in the Justice League, probably even the entire DC universe. And that strategic thinking of his will go a long way against a foe like Dr. Doom. But even with that, let's not forget that Dr. Doom is a powerful sorcerer, an advantage that Batman can't prepare for. There are way too many factors at play here, so yeah, the Batman will fail. Doom is not giving prep time here, and sad to say, at the end of the day, Bruce is just a rich guy taking his anger out on the mentally unstable. Back to the sorcerers. How about we pit Dr. Doom against a fellow sorcerer, the most powerful in the entirety of DC, Dr. Fate. Now we have a challenge. Okay, there's no easier way to put it, but Dr. Fate will overwhelm Dr. Doom. Fate's level of sorcery will probably be too much for Doom to comprehend. We are talking about powers beyond your wildest dreams. So yeah, Dr. Doom will take an L in a magic battle. So, Victor Von Doom will definitely have to do something extreme here if he wants to win. And in this case, what's more extreme than somehow trying on the Helm of Fate for himself and going up against Naboo? As we all know, Naboo possesses whoever wears the helmet, but what if Naboo becomes unable to possess Dr. Doom? Just like he was able to resist the Purple Man's power, he could do the exact same thing with Naboo. With Naboo unable to possess the Toast, Doom will have all the power and control. The toughest part of this plan will be getting the helmet off Fate's head to start with. Yeah, there's probably no way to get the helmet off. Or is there? We are dealing with a genius here, so let's try thinking like one, shall we? All he's really got to need is a distraction. For starters, he could use Purple Man's hypnotic ability to get the entire Justice League to fight for him. And right in the midst of all that chaos, slip right in and get the helmet off. Or he could psionically transfer his consciousness into another Justice League member's body for a short while without Dr. Fate knowing. And right when his back is turned, forcefully remove the helmet, leave it wherever his real body is, and buy himself just enough time to take control. Doom could even trick Dr. Fate by offering himself up as a host. Dr. Fate could see it as a chance to get one more maniacal villain out of the world, so he could opt for it. Just take control over the body and mind of one more near unstoppable villain. All these could work, and all Dr. Doom would have to do is resist Naboo's control, and in fact take control for himself. Okay, that does seem like a bit of a reach, but through the sheer force of will we all know Doom has, he might just be able to do it. Imagine just how powerful this man could become. The DC universe will already be in shambles, but now it'll totally be in tethers. Risks like this are what puts Dr. Doom above every other villain. If he's able to stand against Dr. Fate, who would be able to stop him then? It also seems that the comic fates favor him in his ability to come out triumphant in his pursuits. Well, agree or disagree, no other character embodies what it means to be a villain quite like Dr. Victor Von Doom. The threat he poses differs, and he never acts without proper preparation. The kind of preparation that not even the Justice League can disrupt. Blending his desire for ultimate power with his towering ego and terrifying brilliance, Dr. Doom is Marvel's ultimate villain, and given the chance, he would be DC's as well. With an ego and pride like this, there will be nothing but doom, no matter the victor.